here's some of my whiskey predictions that I think we're going to see in the year 2025. 2024 was a great year for bourbon. Well, maybe not so great. We're starting to see a little bit of almost like what I'm calling a market correction. And I think what's going to happen in the year 2025 is we're going to continue to see quality over quantity. Now, this means two things. For me personally, I think what I'm going to do is focus in more on the stuff that I really, really enjoy and stuff that's really kind of pushing the boundaries a little bit. As I start to continue to curate and build out my bottle collection at home, I think that this is just something that I'm going to be looking for is quality over quantity. I'd rather have 3 really good bottles, 3 really like marquee, show-stopping bottles than a 15 or 20 bottles that are just kind of like average, mid, or even dumpers. I still will be trying a lot of stuff throughout the year because this is the content that we do and it's fun like that. But I think for buying bottles, I'm really gonna start to kind of focus in on stuff that maybe might be craft distillery or you're pushing the boundaries or those legacy brands that are really starting to push out some super special releases. That's what I'm going to be looking for in my collection in 2025. And sticking with the theme of quality over quantity, less is more. We're already starting to see MGP scale back. Anytime your CEO steps down, you might be in for a little bit of a market correction. And I think what's happening is we've seen so many NDPs, so non-distilling producers that have come to the market. They were able to buy some old MGP stock. They were able to build up a brand real quick. And then once that stock kind of disappeared, we're kind of in this like weird flux. So supply demand, the supply was there, the demand came up, the demand took the supply, and now we've got to kind of like restore and restock. And I think a lot of these smaller brands are kind of feeling that struggle. They've lost it a little bit. They don't have access to those deeper, older stocks from a distiller like MGP, or even sourcing barrels from different brands. I think it's going to get even more selective, more competitive. We're going to start to see some of these smaller guys fall off. The positive side of that is I think we are going to start to see some older stocks that, legacy distillers like Buffalo Trace or maybe even Wild Turkey or Bardstown, they're going to kind of hold on to some of this stock and say, you know what, maybe we're going to start to put this into some of our special releases, and we'll start to see stuff that is now creeping in on a higher age statement, higher approved cask strength, all that kind of stuff. And that's what I'm kind of hoping for that happens with this market correction. My buddy Kevin C, Bourbon Notes, he's been calling for a while. I think we're about to enter a really just glut era. Not really glut era like you would see in the 80s, but I think we're about to enter into a golden era of bourbon. Your barrels that might get pushed back a little bit, and then those might be 5, 10, 12, 15, 18 year statements by the time they finally get released. We'll see. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. 2024 seemed to be the year of the rye. Now, rye is on the rise, in my opinion. I think we're going to start to see a lot more brands focusing in on rye. Why? Because it kind of ages a little bit quicker. You're able to get a bottle to market. But there is a movement, and I think the more people dive into bourbon, the more you're getting into whiskey, the more you're kind of starting to look for something else. And there is a definite big pull for rye whiskey. And I think we're going to continue to see that trend rise. I think we're going to start to see some really crazy older age statement, cask strength rye start to hit the market. Well, at least that's what I'm hoping for. Last but not least, I think American Single Malt. It's really cool. It's now classified. It has jurisdictions, has ruling. I thought last year was going to kind of be, we'll start to see that. I don't know if we're going to see that in 2025 yet. I think what we're going to do is like the market's going to kind of figure itself out. And I think there's distillers that probably are starting to embrace a little bit more American single malts that have some stock that they'll start to release. And then maybe by 2026, we'll start to see some really awesome American single malts start to hit the market more so than they already have. Let's get that right. I think we're going to start to see that happening at the end of 2025 going into 2026. That's just my prediction on that. The other thing I think what's going to happen in the bourbon industry is you're going to see a lot more bourbon drinkers getting into the tequila game because there's a lot of special releases. There's a lot of high proofs that are coming out. And in the tequila game, we're going to start to see some a little bit more high proof age statements. So we're talking cask strength añejos and extra añejos that are going to kind of play to those familiarities and the notes of the bourbon drinker that are starting to dip their toes into the tequila game. You guys are a little late to the party, but welcome aboard. There's plenty of space on the tequila train. You're welcome to join in with me if you'd like. But those are just some of my predictions for the year 2025 coming up. I think it's going to be a great year. I can't wait to continue to create content, and we're going to have fun doing this. We got some trips planned. We got some stuff in the works. Single barrels maybe. We're working. This is like just constant party train. The Drink with Wayne party train is kind of rolling on. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you want to jump on and get involved, and let's have fun. But yeah, the Drink with Wayne party train is going to keep rolling on. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you like, comment, follow. Follow us on all social media, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. This is where we're going to be doing it. I'm going to be having a ton of fun. Really cool project to announce. We might not be here anymore. We might be below soon. That's in the works. We'll do some vlogs. I'll show you through the process as I start to build out my ultimate bar man cave in the basement. I can't wait. We got the wife's approval. She's all on board. It's gonna be great. So we'll be taking this space and kind of, this will stay here. We'll just kind of scale it down a little bit, and then the basement's gonna be cool. I'm really excited, really amped up for 2025. Cheers. Follow for more. Boom.